can we please talk about the biggest problem Rise of Kingdoms has as it stands now? At least that's something somebody that is not an infantry main would say. What is going up, guys? My name is Nico and I welcome you yet to another video. Today, guys, we're gonna talk about the infantries, why infantry is so freaking broken, why it's the best troop type by far, and well, what are the best commander pairings, and why being a infantry purist has never been this easy. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into that. In KvK 1, there is no other option than Zetsu. And what is Zetsu? Well, he's an infantry commander, so not only will you get your hands basically free on the best epic commander, but he's also an infantry commander, so, well, I mean, this is really nice. Infantry has the best epic commander in KvK 1, and it's not even close. Well, and if you're a spender, you can actually play Richard I, that is at 5511 super good. However, there are even more options with Charles Martel, because a 5511 Charles Martel, or if you're a spender and you're winning MGEs, then you can go 5515, and that's even better, and that's gonna melt everybody in KvK 1. However, don't invest any gold heads, universal gold heads into Charles Martel. It is very important. The same goes for one more commander, and that is Pyrrhus. I mean, come on, Pyrrhus is also super good. A lot of people tend to forget how strong he is. However, he is really, really good. And if you're a complete free-to-play player, well, you have Bjorn Ironside. Bjorn Ironside is so freaking good. Paired with Sun Tzu, it's a super march. Well, what is Bjorn Ironside? He's also a infantry. Surprise, surprise, it won't get any worse. So now that we know KvK 1 has two good epic commanders, it has three options from the infantries. However, I wouldn't invest into them. Well, what about KvK 2? You might say, yeah, in KvK 2 there is nothing. Well, surprise, surprise, then this bad boy's coming in KvK 2. And he will last even in Seasonal Conquest because he's just so busted. He has, as it stands now, he has 2 museum relics, and maybe he will get even more, but he's so freaking good, alright? He gives you shielding, super debuff, a lot of damage reducing debuffs, immunity, healing reductions, infantry march speed, infantry attack bonus or defense. So he is so freaking good, and he's in KvK 2, and a lot of people, for example me, are using him in Season of Conquest. This is not normal. You know, infantry should not be that good because it is so freaking unfair. In KvK 1, you have only one Cav commander that is coming close to all of these. Well, 2. Baibars, because he's epic, so he's okay-ish, but infantry's countering him, and Minamoto, but you have to pay for Minamoto in order to have at least something. And yes, archers have YSG, however, that's one commander. Alright, from all of the commanders till Season of Conquest or KvK 3, there's one commander that is countering infantry, and it's not even a super counter. I mean, yes, YSG in KvK 1 and 2 is very good, however, then he falls off like immediately. He falls off much faster than Alex, so yeah, that's yeah. There is no counter against infantry. And what's the best thing? Well, then KvK 3 comes. Yes, cavalry commanders get the wheel faster. However, you can get your hands on Liu Che before KvK 3's Kingsland, which is so good, alright? And you can get so many infantry commanders just by then. And you can get just so many infantry commanders before KvK 3's Kingsland. And it's so good because now you can have Liu Che, Alex, now you can have Guan Yu, you can also have Ragnar Lodbrok now added into the game. Now you can have also Scipio, you can have Bakal, Tariq, Sargon, Gorgo, William Wallace, and of course Scipio Amelianus. And those are so many options that are good, because if you wanted ever to be a infantry purist, now you can have up to 5, maybe even 6 marches. Let me be clear, Those marches are not equally strong. Some marches are better, some are worse. However, all of these marches are playable and they are decent. For example, the first march I would use if I would want to have 5 infantry marches would be William Wallace paired with Liu Che. The second march that I would use would be Guan Yu paired with Scipio. The third march would be Ragnar Lodbrok Prime paired with Alex. And now you have 3 marches that are gonna melt down every single other march from all of the other units. Yes, the only march that comes close to this is from the archers, Zhuge Liang paired with Hermann. However, that is so slow that every time you are gonna see this march, then you can actually just run away and focus only on CAF units, because these 3 units, commander pairings, are gonna melt down every single CAF commander pairing. So Huos, Nevskis, and John Primes are completely gone with these, or at least against these commanders. And if you want to make 4th and 5th march, you can actually still play Tariq ibn Ziyad paired with Sargon, which is a heavy single target hitter. And if you still feel like, yeah, I can add something else, well, you can still play Gorgo with Scipio Amelianus, and that's also a single target super hitter. Although, yes, this march falls off because it's super slow. However, it still is very, very single target heavy hitter. It is very tanky because of Gorgo. It deals a lot of damage because of Scipio Amelianus. And those are 5 marches. We are talking about the 5th march. And Gorgo was once a very, very decent commander in the open field, being used by a lot of people. And now she's in the 5th march. And I'm still saying it is okay. And if you want to make another march, you can still use Harald paired with Bakal, or Bakal paired with Harald, which is a very selfish march. It's a super tanky march. However, you won't do that much damage because this march is cool and stuff. However, it is not as strong as it has been like before. You can also make an argument for pairing Chuck with, for example, Pyrrhus, which would also be an option, but that's only a 7th march. So only if you really want to play 7 marches, you can use Chuck, Bakal, Harald, and maybe Pyrrhus. So, or Flavius, but I wouldn't do 7 marches. But if you want to be an infantry purist, having 5 marches is something you can actually think of, and it's gonna be still so good. It's gonna perform so well. Not saying Tariq and Sargon are gonna outperform Huo paired with John Prime, but they will be very, very close to this, because Tariq, if you invest into him and you expertise him eventually, he can do up to 3,500 damage, which is so much damage, single target. That is much higher than Huo's damage, much higher than Nevsky's damage, single target damage, which is crazy. Same goes for Sargon. If he sticks long enough to the target, then he melts down the target, so he's really good. And Gorgo and Scipio, I mean, in the open field I wouldn't use them. However, you can make an argument that both can work in the open field because they are having a lot of damage, a lot of stats. They are tanky, however they are super slow. So infantry as it stands now can have up to 5 marches, and those are marches that you can actually use. Halves have around 3 marches if we take that. Archers have about 3 or maybe 4 marches that are close. However, infantry has 5, and you can still make an argument for Bakal and Harald because it was such a meta commander pairing back in the days. Because that's just so crazy, alright? Infantry is in such a great place as it stands now, and I'm not quite sure what will happen when the next infantry cycle comes. If we get a AoE super heavy target dealer that reduces everybody's rage or whatever, then infantry is gonna keep on growing and keep on melting everybody and everything else in its way. The infantries before have been tanky and had some decent damage. Archers were heavy like damage dealers, but weren't that tanky, and Cavs were super fast, weren't tanky, and had damage. But now, infantry has not only a lot of damage, maybe even the highest damage, because Liu Che, Ragnar, and Scipio, and Guan, and all of these have so much damage. They are also super tanky, but if you also want Liu Che paired with Alex with a 10% bonus to movement speed because of the 4-piece set, is also super fast. So infantry as it stands now has everything. They've got it all. And that is just so crazy. Anyways, this is it with the video. I'll see you in the next time. Goodbye.